ultimate. You know, normally that's the thing you look out for Versusia, but again, that's going to depend on the timing, on how Gamera is going to be using it. But here we are, first game of our top 8 of the ARC World Tour Finals for Grandblue Fantasy versus Rising.
There we go, and our competitors letting the intros rock, the tension high in the air, trying to see who's going to make it into this winner's final side.
I always like to be quiet during these intros, but some of them get me a little too hyped. You know?
I know, they're so sick.
There it is. Gamera, Ryazo, here it is. First game.
Let's see it, and already off to the races, right? Ryazo with the dash up to you. Nothing to be found off of the Rekka, just knocking on the doors with the pressure here, but finally the match out with a close L.
Yeah, and that's one of the differences we saw from Elsa versus Gamera when playing this character, right? Elsa fully content with down backing as long as humanly possible. Ryazo's going to have to remember that, yeah, Gamera might try to bust out.
The immediate flash, the U skills, catching out the backdash, catching out the UDP, but now Ryazo brings us right back to the corner with the U dive kick refund.
Yes. Definitely a smart move right there, but the jump L, that's going to be a guaranteed BC as a result. Yeah. Ryazo also recognizing that the throw is coming in.
Ooh. Okay, just checking on the door with the 5U. Nothing found off of the H gate, just waiting it out, but okay, scary. Air block on that EX orb.
Yeah, this is about as expected in terms of matchup positioning, right? Like, the second Gamera is able to find a way out, but how can you with that success L coming in? And now Ryazo trying to close it out right here with the Skybound art.
Yep. Keep it simple, close M, super Ryazo with the first round.
Yes, yes. And again, we are on 3 out of 5 territory already throughout the whole top 8, so just one round does not mean everything here.
Yeah, you need 3 games to win, and so many hits as far as 6 goes, right? Again, the durability of Versusia is something that's going to be so scary, maybe a little late on the spot dodge here. Gamera getting caught up by the close L.
Yeah, normally we talk about the risk reward, you know, with the durability of Versusia, but 6, putting you in the blender left and right. He may have to multi-touch you just because of how much health you have, but if you can never block, it doesn't matter how many hits it is. It'll get the job done eventually.
Exactly. Might need a few more hits, but he's got the tools to do it. Cash out on the SBA, but Gamera at 1 touch here in the corner.
Yes, that's right. Tried to go for the fake PC setup, eventually got the stagger pressure with the 5L, and it's going to finish off the first game with a perfect over Gamera.
Here we go, knocking on the doors. That counter hit, perfect to start things off, but Gamera unshaken just returns to the water bottle and says, okay, I understand what kind of player we're looking at right now. Very active on the neutral, right? We saw a couple of the empty hands as well. The jump scare off of that Rekka, I think, really stopped a lot of these, you know, mid to full screen backdashes that we usually we're seeing from Gamera, just to take some space and put us at that threatening EX pillar range.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, we rarely saw empty hand. It was only a couple of times because Ryazo clearly felt like just being at that range 1, range 2 area, because now it's not, their life isn't in contention off of just this game right here, right? They were allowed to take that note with Versusia.
Yeah. Okay. Knocked on the door with the 6XL, no confirm, so he flashed the parry.
Oh, wow, Riding Free actually catching the empty hand. We saw a bit of that in the group stages, and we're very surprised by it last time. Oh, no! Tried to go for the throw tech and got hit with the Arx's classic.
The classic plus on whip. Now we get the safe jump off of the empty hand feint. All right, one more throw in the corner. You're going to need quite a few more to kill Gamera.
Yeah, and Artie with the 6XL to try to get their way out of the corner. The triple attack low has been presented a couple of times, probably trying to get that in Ryazo's head as much as possible.
Yep. Gotta make sure to watch the toes again. Another throw on Gamera. SSBA range activated, so now we gotta worry about Delta Clock. It's not going 1 touch for you, but still, Ryazo with the wall bounce takes another round.
Yeah, I don't think Ryazo is worried about Delta Clock, let alone anything in Gamera's kit, as it seems like the pressure is emphatic, difficult to get around, and there is nothing stopping them.
Yeah, Gamera's time is ticking. Ryazo. Okay, tries to bait out something with the empty hand feint, but finds the counter hit far out confirmed. Not too much here in the mid screen though.
Yeah, really important to be able to recognize the counter hits. Wow, got the 6XM.
Yeah, sniped on the EX Fireball startup. Now again, we're stuck in the corner of the guard jump.
Yeah, guard jump really important because it also, you know, tries to bait out a lot of those BCs, right? But Gamera finding the way out.
Oof, the mash out post tech 2M counter hit. Again, just looking for a little bit more corner carry. BC out on the EX gate.
Yeah, wow, surprising no BC there from Ryazo. Gamera is going to be able to take that all the way to the corner as a result.
There we go. Wall bounce off of the Sapphire Slash, the EX addition, but no, the drop in the close M. Gamera leaving a little bit of damage on the table, but it's still 1 touch. BC out for Ryazo.
Yeah, Gamera was trying to prey upon, you know, looking for that throw attack and tried to BC, ended up getting Raging Strike, and because of that, Ryazo has gotten full combo into death, 2-0 right now.
Oh my god. Now, when we saw Riazo yesterday in Group D side, we did not expect him to 2-0 rookies. We did not expect...
This is one of those things where Vesusia could just be played just slightly differently in regards to how you kind of approach this, because now you know this 6 player is Buck Wild, right? So now you know, yeah, you might need to be a little bit more aggressive than you usually are on this character.
There we go. Can't just go for the backdash, can't just walk ourselves back into the corner. That slight dash into 2L, but now just knocking on the doors of the parry. Clean tech!
Yeah, and that's that RPS situation that you got to deal with when the claws are on you. Didn't have the cooldown to be able to combo off the H. Gambetta recognized that and is starting to capitalize.
Yeah, so perfectly fine with mashing after that far H. No skills for the confirm, but no, just a little bit too far from the corner to keep the combo going. Still caught out again off of this backdash with ultimate Rekka.
Yeah, one of the best backdash catchers in the game for sure. Suarez being one of the only other people who can probably contest that in regards to backdash catching. But nice the dodge right there, gets the full conversion. This may very well be it.
There we go, ultimate orb. We ponder, is it going to be the kill? We have Raging Strike in tow, but not even necessary. Gomera finally putting a round on the board.
Yes, that is got to be great to be able to put a tourniquet on the bleeding, just so that you can get your morale back. Gomera definitely with necessary adjustments.
Ooh, taken to the skies, but just slashed out with the far H.
Yeah, and that is notable. There hasn't been a lot of taking to the skies for Riazo, and Gambetta ready for it, even ready for the whip punish on this.
Ooh. Yeah, not faring well in this corner. Already down to that 40% HP. One more hit, especially with the damage you can pump out as Vesusia. 5U install, ready for the buff.
Okay, yeah, just trying to push away. And you can see the 5Ls are coming out from Gambetta from far range to try and catch those errant buttons being pressed by Riazo.
Exactly. Trying to bait out some of these reactions again. It's one of these normals that you can just throw out so safely in neutral. Now, consume the buff. Look for the plus frames, and we flash the parry only to get through him. Gomera puts a game on the board.
Yeah, sometimes you need a couple of games to get the notes settled into your mind. Gambetta showing that right now. And, I mean, hey, the thing is this is not... That doesn't mean Gambetta is back yet. Riazo's still got another couple of games here just to be able to play with.
Exactly. Can we deal with the playstyle switch? Immediately, the EX orb caught up on the 667, the run-up throw bait off that H gate. Yeah,
excellent throw bait right there. It's going to go for the empty hand situation. And again, another BC bait type setup. A throw tech bait type setup on that one.
There we go. We've seen so much of the empty jump guard into throw, but now caught out with the H gate, the air stall, catching out on so much damage here for Riazo. The SBA is going to chunk through the HP.
Yeah, even with Vesusia as a big life lead at that point, it's just barely not going to kill. And so there it is, another perfect. How many perfects do you think somebody in history has gotten on Gomera?
Yeah, exactly. Especially with this Vesusia HP.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we always talk about the risk reward with the Vesusia and her HP, but hey, all the tools to be able to set play you. Does 6 have Riazo being one of the best in the business, if not the best, honestly.
Yeah. All right, Riazo doing a little bit better on the mid-screen defense, not getting caught up by the micro dash 2L. Now, once again, Gomera in the corner with the mash out on that close L.
Yeah, recognizing that that was a run-up situation, and that's one of the best times to be able to mash out there, right? So go ahead and get their stock. But again, the backdash catch, right? Gambetta has gone to backdash in that situation enough times that Riazo has recognized it.
Yeah. Wake up Eureka sounds crazy until you just get a read for your opponent's habits. Yes, I get the knockdown, but it doesn't mean you're safe off of the backdash. A clean hit starter for Riazo up against the corner. 20% extra damage off of that missing brain point. And we're going to take the last one with the SBA. Riazo moves on to winners finals, 3-1 over Gomera.
And again, we talked about it. We were looking at possibly them not even making it out of the group stage. Yeah, we got JP versus EU. That's why we love having these qualifiers, because we get all that regional diversity in this top 8. And the classic anti-Suarez already at round start neutral jumping.
Yep. Just taking to the skies, avoiding the dash punch. Now we have you in the Grandblue zone. Far H fireball. How can you make your escape? Dash punch ends up being the answer.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to skill, I've never seen him stuck in the corner for very long. So.
Okay, Lord Strike Low just standing on the heated floors.
Yeah, to be honest with you, one of the things about the Flame Carpet is that it's not the life drain that's the worst part. It's about what the life drain makes you want to do into Percival. Percival then takes advantage of that.
Yeah, makes you so antsy if your timing gets a little bit too predictable. Now, with the Flame Carpet starter, LDP Ender.
Got the pressure right there. Oh, but there it is finally. You know, one of the things that happens a lot outside of the NA is the stagger pressure is way more prevalent in NA. It's a lot more 6XL, right? But stagger pressure in Japan and EU, skill not ready for it versus Tornado.
Yeah, just stagger off of some of these far lights. Now we got 5 stocks in the toe.
With punish with a 6XL of their own, though, his skill is going to be able to put the pressure on right now. You do want to watch that Dragon Punch, though, from Totoro. Hey, speak of the devil.
There we go. The gift of foresight now running up, trying to catch on the Fuzzy Mash with the ultimate Flame Carpet. Clean confirmed to put Skill back into the corner. But like you said, he's never here for long.
Oh, and he never will be. But that is what you do, is you know that Skill's going to fight out of the corner. So what you try to do is make them whiff on the spacing.
Yeah. Tried to escape with the roundhouse bang, but now tapped on the dome with a close L. Tororo takes game 1.
Yeah, you can definitely tell Totoro's hook yesterday to do the notes.
Yes, I got to reassess for game number 2.
Yeah, and you know, I was mentioning, I guess I can say incorrectly now because Totoro has been the offense the whole time. I was mentioning that Totoro loves to down back, but the offensive pressure from Totoro has been all here.
Yeah, it's been neutral jump, it's been walk back, just looking for the whiff on these dash punches like you're mentioning, and now putting you in the corner again, forcing you to make an option or take that DOT.
Yeah, and got the full conversion. Now remember, combo limit's going to be a little bit lower, but another counter hit with the stagger pressure, keeping that Flame Carpet going. Skill is just bleeding life.
Yeah, and unafraid to just hold on to Skill's escape out of the corner. Normally, I feel like we'd see a much earlier Brave counter, but still not taking quite as much damage as we might.
You know, and surprisingly, that overhead is very, very negative, right?
Yeah.
So weird that Totoro would go to it, but I guess you have to show that. BC also being shown here. Now both are done with their free BCs. Bonus damage if they get rid of any other Brave points.
Exactly. Now we got 100 meter in the bank here for Skill, but does not want to run into a far L, a far M. Content to spend the Brave points. It doesn't matter when anything is one touch.
And I mean, hey, even with that amount of bonus damage, honestly, Skill could be one touch away from being able to take down Totoro right now as well, because we are so close to the corner. And yeah, Totoro is recognizing that and using all of those spacing tools at Percival's arsenal to keep Skill away.
Yeah, so smart in the mid-screen, right? Obviously, you're not stuck in the corner on that Flame Carpet, but knows your opponent is trying to escape, snipes the backdash immediately with that Lord Strike low. Now the round up for Totoro. Skill fights back.
Ooh, yeah, and even tried to delay right there using the M version of the rush punch to try and catch the attempted whiff punish.
Right. Pick it up with the EX punch. Now ultimate ender. Skill. No throw to be seen.
Yep.
All right, didn't believe in the 6XL hit. Committed to the stagger.
And that's going to be one of our first throws of the set, to be honest with you. There hasn't been very many of them, but the back throw incident is possible right now.
There we go.
Oh!
Ooh, run up with a 5U. Of course, still going to need a couple more good hits to work your way through, but now we get a safe, ender into the Flame Carpet. No, instead it's SSBA.
Yeah, this way you're going to be able to get back your BP and take away 2 of your opponents.
Yeah.
What was an incredible life lead for Skill is now basically being life even.
Yep. All right, how are we going to escape? Stuck in here right at that far H range against Percival, but still had one more BC because we had that super refresh.
No escape right there. Probably tried to press a button now, but there's the invincibility. Skill has not used that once and got it when it mattered.
Finally, 4 rounds in, representing the UDP, that ultimate up kick.
Yeah, really important to be able to show that your opponent that you will do that sometimes so they can second guess their offense, right? And now Totoro is on the back foot here in terms of the pressure. We saw this from Skill before, has lost at the very beginning in the group stages and then completely came back.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of dash punch into EX roundhouse bang to, try and frame trap here. Now we're just trading on the BCs instead, caught up with the ultimate Flame Carpet.
Was probably looking for a throw situation off the jump in right there. And yeah, another one is going to be able to get the side switch for free.
Oops. All right.
Yeah, punch the stars with the clash. Yeah, had to stop right there because Percival's mid-range buttons are just so strong.
Yeah, recovered in time off of the spot dodge, able to find a counter hit post far L, but still the ultimate starter from Skill. 1 more hit's enough, 2 more throws, 2 BP apiece.
Yeah, and that Flame Carpet trying to even up that life total. The BP has got to get used.
Yep.
Same right back at you for Totoro, and was maybe even looking for it there. That's why the backdash came out.
Yeah, walk it back. It's a gentleman's duel. 5 paces, whip the roundhouse bang. No punish from Totoro, waiting for this 50 to come back up.
Yeah, definitely not a draw yet, but here it is, finally pulling it out. Has got the install going. This is only a 1 stack, but I mean, you only need a 1 stack in terms of damage. The counter hit is going to connect, is going to use all the resources available to Totoro and taking game number 2.
The 1 stack couldn't save you. Finds the close L counter hit to tie things.
To get the W and walk away. No, has to make sure they're ready for every eventuality.
Okay, a little bit more conservative at the round start. Looking for the far L, but nothing found. Still counter hit here for Skill.
It's a great start, though, because that's going to put Totoro in a situation where they're maybe going to want to use their BC. But wow, finding a time to be able to throw, that was no escape. So unfortunately, whatever stagger pressure you tried to do is getting bodied. Stagger pressure right back at you.
Yeah, and the deep dash to catch out the fuzzy match. That close L working out wonders for Totoro. 4 stocks in tow, ultimate Flame Carpet. How can you make your escape? BC to keep the corner now.
Yeah, no, you can't BC if Percival's that far away from you. Tried to use the ultimate skill, but not enough armor to save you from this.
The basketball bombos up against the wall. The EXDP ender Tororo on set point.
Yeah, Tororo looking exactly like the lord that he is.
Yep.
Now, Tororo has been the bridesmaid so many times in these top 8s, but is, I think, finally trying to rectify that.
Yeah, this is a really good start for Tororo. Has the 3 stocks available. Doesn't have to worry about a dash punch interrupting 2 more orbs.
Yeah, Lord Strike already set up right there. Ooh. Oh, goes for it again. You know, Tororo has caught skill with that so many times this set.
Yep. All right, we get the cross through off of the ultimate roundhouse, but still sniped out here with a close L.
Okay, just using as many resources as humanly possible. The Lord Strike's going to come in. Not enough to kill, but oh, just an early attempt at dodging the fireball. 2 villains turned heroes, Siegfried and Sandalphon coming in.
All right, walk it out off of the fireball.
UHK, but okay. There's the dash right there. It's going to be able to take to the corner on this one. And that's one of the things is Sandalphon has a ton of ground bounce or wall bounces.
Yeah.
So it's really, really good at being able to take the opponent to the wall.
Yeah. Corner carry looking pretty solid here. Nothing found off of the Mistfinder, but the Sword of Damocles just caught up on the far end.
Yeah, that was really smart from Zippy, was recognizing that it was going to be dive kick and also recognizing when to whip punish there. It's going to get full damage, has SBA on deck, so you're going to want to spend as many resources as possible.
The post-cinematic, put the wings up, the spears down.
Ein Safuari!
Round number 1 off the super here for Zippy.
And I mean, yeah, this is what we talk about when it comes to Sandalphon, right? We mentioned that he stays in light form most of the time in this game because it's just a normal guy thing. He's kind of a normal guy in this game, which is really odd considering the lore. But
yeah, right. Lore notwithstanding, gameplay-wise, he's a bit of a normal dude, but trying to fight past this average Joe with the EXDP, but still up against the wall here for Fitizen.
Yeah, oh, got frame trapped right there with the 2-2H.
Okay, backdash, far H.
Another Sword of Damocles to try and alter that jump art.
Yeah, little JU action, EX bonk. Still gonna mash out here, no charge. That's a punish for Zippy.
It's gonna be all the way to the corner thanks to the ultimate skill plus the EX there.
Yep.
And yeah, see how many wall bounces this character gets?
Yeah, it's scary, but finally finding our way out of the corner with a couple straight hits from Fitizen. Tries to charge up the firewall, only to get caught by ultimate fireball.
And that's how you know he's played against Siegfried a number of times, right? Because pretty much that's the most relevant option that a Siegfried player will go to after a sweep.
Yep. All right, waiting for the sweep. Double 6XL, but no challenges coming out from Zippy. He doesn't want to eat that counter hit.
Yeah, and that's a counter hit that paid a lot of dividends for Fitizen in the group stages, but it's paying off nothing for him against Zippy.
Yeah, we're not going to build 100 off of this, but we have another Raging Strike. LDP. Wait it out.
6XL. That is a straight punish. If you are unaware, now Siegfried can obviously cancel with the special or cancel into even dodge, right? But the thing is if they don't, they can be 6XL'd at that range.
Exactly.
Ooh, Zippy feeling it. You see that?
Yeah, great spacing awareness from Zippy, but he's got to lock in for 2 more games. Again, first at 3. Are we going to be able to tie it up in game 2?
Yeah, there's only one person who can get the championship belt here. And, well, Fitizen, if you want to add another one, you got to get through this.
There we go. Ooh, okay, ran into the late active frames of the Mistfinder, caught up by 6XM and caught up by a backdash shimmy. All this just to be back up against the corner.
Yeah, the backdash timing from Zippy this entire set has been perfectly placed. Has known exactly when Fitizen wants to press a button or throw tech.
All right, looking for the parry, but I love the delay on the far L, just waiting for the sword in the stone, and now looking for all these wall bounces to bring you to the corner.
Yeah, it's very, very close. He's able to catch right there. Yeah, you are plus enough that you can press something. I imagine that Fitizen probably tried to jump considering it wasn't a counter hit.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe just barely off of the ground, but even with that early start combo limit, not able to save you. That Raging Chain takes the round.
And Zippy still looking immaculate, even regardless of using all their BP for this whole thing.
Yeah.
Barely taking any damage.
There we go. Get into the stance. Mistfinder to start things off. Again, another 6XL.
Dude, the 6XL placements versus the 2M have whiff punished so many times.
Yeah.
Zippy, the spacing, the reaction, everything is coming together. It's culminating into this.
Yeah, just staying at that perfect spacing. Maybe Fitizen going to be a little bit more greedy taking space with the 6XLs now that we've established that spacing, but still trying to find something in the mid-screen after this firewall.
Oh, right there, yes. That
go.
is a common thing for pretty much every character in the entire game. Their fireball has a bit of a gap after most of the normals.
Yep. Especially with a little bit of horizontal movement. No whiff on that DP. Now finally has Zippy up against the wall, but can we open him up one more time? So much health on his side.
Yeah, now Zippy's completely content with opening up just a little bit later. It does not have to be your regular open up. It can be during the neutral, because this is what's possible.
Yep.
Gets for the sweep to try to catch another jump out, most likely. Whatever the case may be, a sweep is found for Fitizen here. So this is going to be some of the first offense we're going to see.
Crucial misplace on the space. Now Fitizen ties up the health lead. And very even on the BP meter situation as well. Counter hit 2M, but no belief.
Yeah, trying to use the ultimate. Is able to catch the 2-2H.
There we go. We need 3 more throws to kill here. 100% available for that SBA.
Yeah. Oh, but it's able to get the hit here, right? And it's got a ton of meter for this. Just absolutely kill.
Yeah. Keep it simple with the Raging Strike, Raging Chain. Fitizen puts a round on the board.
Put a tourniquet on the bleeding.
Yep.
And I mean, it wasn't even like set point was for Zippy here yet. Right? Remember, we do have that 3 out of 5. Fitizen's got some time to take some notes.
Ooh. Maybe the startup with the EX Firewall. Caught out here with the 6XL.
Yeah, that dashing normal, insane from every character in the game. We already know it.
Yep. Guard button jump, just going for the jump in. A lot of these straight hits in the corner here. No big openings until we block out the EXDP. Counter hit, close age starter. You are not going to see a next round. Zippy about to go up 2-0 with this SBA. Might not even need it after the wall bounce. Send it.
Good Lord, didn't even have to finish the whole combo for that one.
Right?
And that is the power of the change. That is also the power of the safe jab. A lesson that we all learned in vanilla Grandblue carries all the way over to Rising because it still works. That's even why, one of the reasons why they put Ultimate Dragon Punches in this game was to stop safe jab from being the greatest pressure tool.
To catch that even faster UDP startup, but heading on into a game number 3, Zippy only needing 1 more to eliminate one of our EU reps.
It's looking good for it as well. And now, see, that one wasn't even a 6XL. Still able to punish the 6XM, right?
Yeah.
Has got these whip punishes on deck.
Okay, spot dodge on the fireball. A little bit greedy with the misfire. Fitizen now taking to the skies. We haven't seen a lot of that.
But remember, not going to be a counter hit situation, so Fitizen had to adjust the combo. That could maybe even have been death otherwise.
Yeah, honestly. Spent the 50 on it just to make sure we have 1 more chance at life. Tried to bait on a throw tech, but 2H is all you found. Fitizen sniping this angel out of the skies.
Yeah, that 2H is great verticality, and it also hits behind Siegfried. One of the better anti-airs for that. It does have some slow startup if you want to pretend like there's a downside, but yeah.
If you want to be charitable about it, but finally a little bit of momentum on Fitizen's side. The charge on the EX bomb, but a clean spot dodge from Zippy.
Yeah, Fitizen not being deterred by that, immediately going for a Dragon Punch, and again, attempting to get these counter hit 5Hs, right?
Yeah.
That is the one thing you do not want to get hit by with Siegfried.
Exactly. You will explode, but still, even the ultimate startup caught out here, but a 2H for 2H sniped out of the skies for Zippy.
Yeah, and Zippy converting off it straight into combo limit now. One's got the pressure. Remember though, Zippy having way less BP. The amount of damage Siegfried can output, well, I guess it may not matter.
Yeah, the walk back on the fuzzy mask just to make sure we get a button tech, but no throw to be seen. Instead, it's a counter hit starter, and let's bring our BP right back.
Only going to get 1 because it is the Skybound art, and it's not going to do it, right?
Yeah, okay. Just a sliver left here for Fitizen. But now 1 button tech puts you in chip damage territory. The bash out onto you, but didn't believe in the Callisto. No SSBA to be seen.
Yeah, it just built the meter, and I don't think Fitizen was going to think it was going to build the meter. Oh, just a little bit too early on that dodge. That's going to allow Fitizen to start moving forward. We're close to the ultimate Dragon Punch being available for Zippy. Oh, yes! That is effervescent reactions.
From downtown, no cinematic, but now 1 more touch. The chip damage wearing away at Zippy's HP. 50% for a UDP. The walk-up DP. Fitizen stays alive.
Incredible decision making right there. Normally, a lot of people will just walk up and throw as a I know that you know, but we got 6 more layers deep into Dante's Inferno.
You already know Zippy's rolling his eyes because he's like, man, I did that 5 times to get out of group stages. Now it's happening to me in losers top 8. Come on, bro.
Hey, you know, you may be good at it, but do you think somebody else is going to do it, and are you ready for the counterplay, right?
Exactly. We studied the tapes.
That's what fighting games are all about.
All right, the ultimate skill to put you back into the corner. Counter at 6XL, but didn't fully confirm. Now Zippy fights back.
Yeah, with the 6XL of their own, is going to be having 27 wall bounces coming in right now. All the way to the other side of the corner. It may not be huge damage, but it is damage enough.
Yeah, looking for the far L on the way over. Nothing off of the ultimate flame wall.
Yeah, was able to get the wall bounce, but didn't believe in it, just like last time.
Yeah.
It still got the counter hit on this one, and because it's a close counter hit, got that close M. It's going to be able to get full damage here. Not enough meter to be able to finish it off, but you have to be scared if you're Zippy.
Yeah, off of that starter, not quite able to get the 100, but great work here. Ooh! All right, a throw for Fitizen. 3 rounds in a row now.
Yeah, normally you see a ton of throws out of Siegfried players, but Zippy has basically made it so that throws is just not an offensive game that can really make things happen for this set, up until now, really.
All right, now let's take to the skies, pull up for the scoop.
Ooh, caught the backdash, it looks like.
Yeah, nothing found off of the frame trap. Just keeping your turn up with a far H, only to run a back throw. Fitison feeling the confidence now, charging the EX bonk right in Zippy's face.
Yeah, going for pretty much every frame trap known to man with Siegfried, but yeah, finding the way through the Orchid.
Oops. The base boost resounding through the stadium, but now fighting with the airborne close L.
Now combo limit is going to cut this short, so not going to be able to kill on this, but the Super Skybound Art should be able to catch that, and it fully animates here. So what is the knockdown pressure, though?
Yeah, I thought we had time for a save jab. That could have been the kill for Zippy, but 100 with no BP to your name. SSBA off of the chip damage, but Shibin with the 2 in our set.
Yeah, the Siegfried classic. He's got those long dancer's legs, so you know every Siegfried wants to hit that backdash 2M because it is going to lead the 6XLs, the whip punish, everything from Zippy was being placed immaculately. But now, Fitizen is starting to bring a little bit of that own 6XL pressure to the game that wasn't there at the very beginning, right? Yeah, exactly. And it's starting to put Zippy into more and more poor situations. So you see that Zippy is kind of hanging back a little bit more.
Ooh. Okay, run up spot dodge, avoids the firewall, only to get jumped over. Fitison now with corner pressure.
Yeah, corner pressure notwithstanding anymore due to that dashing L. Yep. It's going to be able to get out of there. Zippy finding the right time, and it's going to take you to your own corner, the West Coast side.
And now we spend the 50, just trying to keep you at bay with the far L. Okay, wait for the 6XM, no punish.
Okay, yep. No ultimate elemental release either, staying in light form.
Ooh. The walk back, just barely able to reach with the tip of that 2M. Like you mentioned, Ebonic, just so much range on it.
Yeah, it's one of the better 2Ms, but it's not going to matter with that far L from Sandalphon being as far as it is, being able to combo off of just about any range.
Ooh. Walk it back, just trying to see if we bite off of a delay DP, but Fitison takes his turn out of the corner. 100 meter available for an SSBA.
Yeah. Oh, tried to use the ultimate. That was the previous situation that worked out so well for Zippy. Not this time, unfortunately.
Exactly, a reversal of fate right now, just poking out with the 2N. Finds a 6XL.
Now, it doesn't have another Raging Strike, Raging Chain in, but does have the rest of the cooldowns. Zippy is going to be able to take that, and we are in set point here.
Yeah, that was all we had left. Zippy 1 round away from ending Fitison's run.
Who's able to spot that again? Yeah, immediately going for the invincible, right? Having to get through these dragon punches after a fireball. Oh, but just too far away. No capitalization there from Zippy, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Zippy looking for the Sword of Damocles on that jump out, allowing for Fitizen to get away.
Okay, charge the firewall after the 2U, spaced out, so it's looking pretty safe. That Raging Strike is not what you wanted, but it's exactly what Zippy needed. Puts you into the corner off of all these wall bounces.
Yes. So, and already catching with the sweep as a meaty. Big damage here, but what's most important is that you have to deal with the corner pressure, forcing the BC, and right back at you. They're both taking extra damage from anything now.
Ooh. Walk it out, wait for the 6XL, the poke out. Fitison fights back, no BP left to his name.
He's going to have to gain a lot of that Skybound Art meter back just to be able to get back into contention for not taking extra damage.
Yep. Partial charge off of the EX bonk, no frame trap to be found. Zippy looking for one more light confirmed to seal your fate. The 2M, the SSBA available on both sides.
Yeah, one hit confirmed could very well do it for anybody at this point. Fitizen needs one more round just to be able to stay alive, whereas Zippy needs to close it out on this one.
And
there's the 6XL. That's going to do it right here. Paradise Lost. Zippy pop it off.
This dude started b-boying the breakdance as soon as the SSBA rocked. A close 3-2, sending Fitison home at 7th place.
Oh my goodness, Zippy not even thinking that he was going to be able to make.
Can't underestimate the bow, but we want to know what's beyond the mask again. Heading into it, game number 1.
And already the jump in, you know, that's pretty rare for Monarch to have gotten jumped in, and it was even crouching, maybe attempted the anti-air, but just a bit too late.
Yeah, we saw the counter hit. I'm assuming we were looking for that 2H, maybe thinking it would be an air stall to look for a delay, but instead just going to, you know, layer 1 to keep things simple.
Empty hand always being a fantastic usage to be able to get away, but got the butterfly just a bit too far on the Zephyr jump, unfortunately. Still stopping the ultimate claws.
Oh, you were a little bit too early on the UDP, so the angle made it so that that ultimate empty hand just worked out so well in Rookie's favor. Not only 1 BP for Monarch, able to find the spot dodge.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're totally right. It's just a little bit early. That shows that they have the knowledge,
yeah,
but maybe a little bit too antsy to show it off.
Exactly. Take a deep breath, but How calm can you be when you're stuck against the corner? Any ultimate Rekka should be the kill. Looking for the feint on that empty hand, but finds the close L. No confirm.
Didn't have BP and probably attempted the Raging Strike because they didn't do anything with it. So unfortunate there for Monarch. Rookies, on the other hand, is going to take that one to the bank.
That's a heartbreaker, and I think you're right? Looking for the Raging Strike confirmed just to slow things down, go for the tournament combos, and realize we spent it all on the Brave counter. Now 5L to stop the approach from the round start.
Ooh, recognizes the punish situation. Couldn't get a full combo due to the distance.
Yep.
But that's still going to keep Rookies away from Monarch for now. Has to wait for empty hand.
Yeah. Unhand me, but now empty hand up. So is the Rekka, just waiting for that 50 for the jump scare. All right, tempo gain. So is the space for Monarch.
Yeah, well, Monarch is pretty well versed in jump scares. Evidently has stopped it in its track, has stopped that jumps in its track, and tried to stay away from any other option after that, but could not do so.
Yeah,
Rookies is in.
Oh man, we lost so much space off of this, just checking on the doors with the 6XL, so we BC out to try and build some space between you and me, but nothing found off of the ultimate Rekka.
Ooh, trying to go for the anti-air double. No, is going to be able to get the full confirm. Waited this time so that the Zephyr wouldn't go too far. Has got the full knockdown, has got the ultimate butterfly setup. Tried to go for the unblockable, was not close enough. Still got it though.
Almost had the AUP, but 6XL does the job. A scary round for Monarch, even looking at that health lead.
Yeah, I mean, the second they jumped into that ultimate butterfly, that was death territory. Unfortunately, though, Rookies still ended up having to lose to that.
Yeah. All right. Tap with the 6XL, back throw to set the butterfly.
Ooh, setting up. Butterfly pressure right now is going to go for the Great Fall. And just staying outside of Thunder Flash range, right? Trying to make sure that that's not an option.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Airborne hit off the double close L. It's not going to be the longest combo, but again, a clean knockdown off the ultimate arrows. Trying to bait out a parry, but the back throw gets super jumped out.
I wonder if that was an attempt at a TK arrow just to be able to catch a throw.
Yeah.
But whatever the case may be, not going to matter now.
Okay, finally finds a 6XL here for Rookies. Again, a lot of help to make your way through on Rookie's side.
Can you block it? Oh, it's just invincible through it!
There we go, the install, just keeping the combo going as long as we can. Still needs one more touch here. Monarch, 2 DPs in tow, 1 reversal SSPA could be enough.
Yeah, you know, that's the optimal way to do it because once only the combo limit starts in the air, but the jump over right there, it's got resources this time, and it's going to be able to finish it off this time as well.
There we go. Last time we had no BP to kill, but now just enough damage on the board to take game 1.
Yeah, always got to double check your resources when you see a hit because that could be the difference between your W or the opponent's. And so, yes, a game up Monarch to start here versus one of the scariest offensive players you could possibly run into in the bracket.
Yeah, and Rookie's taking a second to recompose on the stage as well. Of course, can be a lot of pressure, especially when your tournament life is on the line, but you have the full first to 3 to try and make it back. Now, game number 2.
And you're going to see a lot of that far L just to try to stop things, but that's why Rookie's going to the jump.
There we go, a couple close L juggles in the corner here off of the triple attack. Ooh, caught out the Brave counter attempt. I love the stall off of that H-gate.
You know, we've been seeing so many people going for Brave counter attempts, mainly Seahawks players, right? Because they have so many different ways to do it.
All right, ultimate dive kick. Rookies, whatever you thought of the game plan between that rematch has worked out so perfectly.
Perfect indeed, coming in with no scars on the body, coming in with just a great game plan for the rest of it.
Ooh, looking for the dive kick, but instead the fadeaway arrow isn't enough to keep you away. That EX empty hand, it's BC out for Monarch, trying to build some space.
Yeah, even getting through the butterfly right now. The BC is going to hit, but unfortunately, that butterfly there to save. Ooh, the tech right into it. Is trying to use that butterfly effectively, but no! Hell's Gate!
That final active frame of the Hell's Gate just threading the needle here for Rookies. Now giving you this SBA confirm, 1 BP left for Monarch.
Okay, trying to use the empty hand to bait out either a Raging Strike or a throw, whichever would have been great. However, that BP's gone again. We are back in this situation once more.
Wait, that L parry was so smart, taking to the skies and able to avoid the butterfly pressure as well. But is it going to be enough to truly escape the corner? Monarch keeping the onslaught up.
Yeah, Monarch is somebody who's well-versed in picking and choosing the right spots to press each button for anti-airs, and you are seeing why here. Now, Thunderflash is back up, so we could see that one more time. That escape could be prevalent, but look at all the chip that's been done.
Yeah, and I was scared when I saw that back. That's the triple. Still not getting caught up by the U dive kick. I'm scared of the ultimate Rekka, but Rookie's taking to the skies makes that one less option to worry about. Finds it with the H arrow.
Yeah, run startup had already been there, so that means Rookie had to cancel with a dodge or something like that. Remember, there is run recovery in this game.
Yeah, exactly. You can't dash block. Really has to commit to making your way over the Zephyr. The short hop to go over the empty hand. Smart from Monarch.
Yeah, we saw the attempt at that earlier in the set. It failed, but this time is showing those notes.
Okay, the walk back on the H gate. Didn't want to have to run into it and break your own combo, but still built up the space that you need.
Yeah. Ultimate empty hand is always going to be prevalent if you're shooting fireballs, so Monarch not ready for it this time, unfortunately.
Yeah. Still got 50 in the bank here. Catches out the attempt of Fuzzy Mash, the counter hit starter from Rookies. We're going to even up the BP situation and then some.
Oh, no, opts to not go for the Skybound Art because wants the Shadow Clone Super, okay.
AWT has been the tour of installs. Been seeing so many of them, but seeing so much of the Zephyr as well. We build up the 100 off of this. It's SBA in the mid screen, but instead it's Raging Chain to keep it clean. Monarch up 2-0.
Yeah, you called it tournament combos, and that's why you are hard pressed to drop that as long.
In the back too. If no one else is cheering you on, that cat it's game number 3.
Yes, this is Rookie's gonna have to do a complete reverse sweep, and is gonna start it off with getting unblockable in the air, unfortunately.
All right, BC on the empty hand. Says unhand me. Flash the L parry, but nothing found off of the delay arrow.
Yeah, you know, you want to try to get the Thunder Flash, or, you know, you'd much rather get the ultimate skill, and you'd love this as well.
All right, rough start here for Rookies, but still finding a good read on the defensive options from Monarch. A little more antsy than we've seen previously.
Okay, well, the mash out right there is going to be able to get away. Monarch knowing when to press buttons to leave.
Yep. I like the walk forward down back again. The threat of that ultimate Rekka is so tricky on the dashes. No punish on the whiff UDP.
Yeah, that might come back to haunt Rookies, but wow, stoicism right there on the attempted shimmies.
Yeah. How can we make our way in? Just trying to catch these back dashes, which Monarch is so comfortable showing before that 50-meter threshold. Clean tech, the ultimate for ult, but the Rekka does the job.
Yeah, Seox known to be the fastest character that ever lived and showed it right there with the startup of the ultimate claw.
Rapidly approaching your location. I hired this 6 to chase you down. 1 round up. Can we make it a game?
Oh, yeah, tried to go for the anti-air right there, but already setting up, it was Rookies. And yeah, you can't stop me from anti-airing you twice if your skill is on cooldown.
Yep, don't stop me now. The roll through the H arrow.
Okay, Butterfly not active yet. Yeah. And I mean, you notice Monarch was not even pressing anything because Empty Hand was available.
Yeah.
Didn't want to get caught counter hit.
Exactly. Even if the detonation you already know is going to be so far past it, didn't get caught by the ultimate Empty Hand. Now it's a clean knockdown. An ultimate arrow. Monarch still a 50-meter deficit.
Nice! Use the crouch light to make sure that they were under the Hell's Gate.
Yep. A clean low profile coming up from Monarch. Now we pull up to the other side off of the Raging Strike. Monarch on set point.
Utterly clean play from the defense all the way to the conversions here.
See here, Rookies, this could be your last chance to stay alive. And the loser side, the 1H straight out of the sky, straight above. And now over to the corner for you.
That was a parallel of the beginning of this set where Monarch had failed to do that, and this time had succeeded.
Exactly. Changing Fates episode, catching me with the counter hit on the jump back.
Oh! Use the arrow to get away from the possibility of BC. There's still one more available. Monarch is looking for it intently, but Rookie's recognizing that the shimmy has been done one too many times and mashes out.
Scouting out the backdash. No U-Rekka to be seen. Instead, that far L brought us back to mid-screen, but now tracked with the ultimate butterfly. Monarch seals Rookie's fate with the 3-1. You already know, as soon as she mentioned Lucilius' name, a single tear rolled down his cheek.
I was actually going to say the same thing.
He's like, hold on, now you made it personal. Let me pull up with a 6-6L, but instead, it's the far L to find first blood.
Yeah, no, I mean, Zippy may not have Lucilius under the belt right now, the characters that they qualified with, but they do have the wind element behind them. Using elemental release for one of the first times probably wants that movement speed, right?
Yeah.
To rival that of Chimera.
Yeah, it's terrifying because now even just a single EX Pillar Poke does so much damage, 20% on top of, if we use those Brave counters, that extra damage modifier. Really wants mobility. Haven't seen any of the air dash, but the speed on these fireballs is contesting so well.
Yeah, that's the big thing right here, is the speed on the fireballs, the speed on the 2-2X, right? Yeah. The fact that that's so much faster is one of the reasons why he's stuck to win. And yeah, you're even going to see him go back to it. This is such good matchup specificity we're seeing.
Yeah, knew that Chimera might be in the path. Maybe didn't expect him to be in loser's side this early, but SBA to put you just barely in a light combo confirm range.
Yeah, I mean, even if you didn't know Chimera was going to be in the path, you have to be ready for Vesuvia. You have to be ready for Chimera just in case.
Yeah, with all the upsets we've been seeing in the group stages, you can't count anyone out. Again, just trying to throw this onslaught of fireballs, making it so that Gamera cannot feel comfortable throwing out the EX pillar.
Yeah, I mean, look at the ranges that Zippy's playing at. It's making 6XL such a prominent factor in this matchup. Had to even use ultimate pillar just to be able to get in.
Yeah, exactly. Just wanted to secure the Oki. He's like, I cannot pin this Zippy guy down. The extra mobility has done so much. The late active frames of the Mistfinder catching out Gamera. Now it's one touch apiece with 20 seconds left on the clock.
But just outside of the range that Zippy wanted to be in, getting caught by the ultimate fireball.
And normally you would stay alive potentially off of that, or at least have to do a full combo to kill, but so much damage off the BP situation, the elemental state, and now Zippy off of such a close first round, down 1.
Yeah, I mean, you're already taking 20% off of just being in the elemental state. Can't even imagine how much extra off the BP being lost.
Exactly. Ooh.
Okay, elemental release, so you can't get a combo off that, but it does put the opponent much further away.
Exactly, a very clean knockdown. Didn't decide to refresh the stock though on that install.
Yep, no reason to do it right now. Trying to stay nice and safe. Goes for fire this time. Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, trying to see if the flames are a little bit better of a matchup. Elemental release for the guard crush plus frames.
Oh, just barely got away from the lariat on that one. Is not going to be able to make offensive pressure happen off of it other than just a couple of hits. But Gamera finding the way out with the 2L.
All right, ultimate orb brings us all the way over to the other side. We haven't even left the ground yet, so this combo still, no, just barely a little bit too far from the corner for that far L to connect.
Now Gamera being able to push away with the BC here, has gotten the throw. Not too many of those have shown, but they've been crucial in being able to push Zippy out of the range that he likes to be in.
Yeah, trying to bait out a BC or an ultimate DP from Zippy, but nothing to be found. But the counter hit lariat should seal your fate. Say it with your chest, Gamera. That's game 1.
Yeah, you want to talk about 50% meter jump scares from other characters.
Yep.
This character has one, and it doesn't even not a person that we've seen have bad reactions. We know he's actually got great reactions, and so if he's not able to, you know, get around that very easily, Gamera is doing something right.
Exactly. I mean, I learned over like a 9 a.m. coffee that it's a 16-frame lariat.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Even with the zoomer reactions, rather. But either way, we're sending out the fireball, clean spot dodge from Gamera to set up that EX orb.
Yeah, it's okay. Back to the wind setup right here. Had used that full screen nature just to do it, but elemental release guard crush is going to take it away. Still getting the 6-6L, no full conversion though, and Gamera recognizing it and pressing buttons directly after.
Yeah, failed the nature check, failed the 6-6L check. Now you're eating all this damage in the corner. 50% for an ultimate pillar ender here on Gamera's side.
Yeah, it's going to be able to get your stock back. Look at that damage output that was available there.
Help.
Gamera using everything, trying to catch the shimmy right now, but Zippy not biting so far. Good
Just
walk.
walk up slowly and throw. I mean, that dash acceleration is so tricky, even being back at the mid-screen. Gamera so ahead in this round on the HP.
Yeah, already with the free BC to get back just before the H Fireball came out. Was able to get the 6-6L. It's going to use as many resources as possible on this due to the fact that they most likely want, the BP back. Paradise lost.
Close H, SSBA, just drain the BP. Like you said, Gamera still has that UDP available if we want to try and escape, but even without that counter hit starter, it should be a kill for Zippy if we get the read on the timing.
Safe jump right there. No BP there from Gamera to be able to get out of that, so the safe jump was perfect.
Yep. Wait it out. Ooh, that was a scary send on the Mistfinder, trying to hold on to space in the corner, but any of these ultimate jump scares could be your doom, Zippy.
Yeah, it feels like Gamera was trying to recreate the situation. Knew that Zippy wanted to go for the win in the situation that was full screen because of the very beginning of this exact round.
Yep. Clip this young Angel's wings. Another round on the board here for Gamera before you can even get started.
Incredible play right there from Gamera to recognize what Zippy's habits were off of becoming full screen. Does not want to get stuck in these zoning situations because honestly, during that first game, Gamera was having a lot of trouble with the zoning.
Yeah. There we go. The deep dash 2L, but no fuzzy to be checked.
Okay, yep, with punish right there. Trying to go for the sweep, but just a little too close. Yeah, honestly, with Versusia, things that you think might be spaced correctly are just actually a little bit inside her range.
Yeah, exactly. Such a threat, especially with that tracking EX pillar and these normals. They're so good at holding down the mid-screen, but instead 6XL from back out of the corner is Zippy.
Yeah, it may not be as prevalent as the previous match we've seen before, but we're going to get as many wall bounces as humanly possible. All the way to the next corner, and yes, the 5L from so far away, dictating the pace.
You're going to go for a deep dash against someone with a 5L like that? I mean, Gamera has been playing it so patient early on, but now with the mash out with Raging Strike, puts a second game on the board, and look, light work, no reaction.
I mean, that's Gamera, though. You think this man just wants to go to bed after pretty much every match, right?
Exactly,
Like, he could be fighting for his life, and he'd be like, Oh, I wish I was in bed right now.
I'd like to win as soon as possible. I want to head back to the hotel room, but still staying locked in.
Sandalphon, we are continuing on with this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, at the pace that Gamera has been, dictating this entire round, it's difficult to say, oh, I want to go back to the character that requires so much patience and so much time to scale. Again, Gamera off to a strong start.
Yeah, Gamera's not trying to get back into that zoning war that was there before because it was just a losing war. It was not a good battle.
Yeah.
And so you can see that.
Ooh, okay. Able to walk and block the misfire. Not too much space lost.
Oh, got the ultimate. So yeah, you wanted to try to get your elements.
Ooh.
I'm going to get mine.
Oh my god, and the misfire as well. Just
Ooh.
able to avoid the EX pillar. The spot dodge scooped up with a no escape throw.
Yeah, if that spot dodge was maybe a little bit earlier, would have been a tackleable throw, but not the case this time.
Yeah.
And it is not the case that Zippy will be safe.
Yeah, look to check with the 5L. Now you're eating almost 50% for it. 100 meter still available for Gamera. The SBA link should kill.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons this character has so much damage potential. Is the output of damage is based solely off the fact that she does not have to worry about combo limit for most of her damage.
Yeah. You see that? She looked straight into the camera. She was like, watch this. One more round until I end Zippy's run.
Who's next?
Okay, the tap out with the 2L. Just barely at that tipper range, too. Just a deceptive amount of range for that light normal.
Already, again, another throw. They may be so few and far between, but that's why Zippy is just getting caught with them.
Yeah. Walk it out. Again, that 5L so, safe to whip. The recovery so quick in the mid-screen.
Yep, now already to the corner now for Susia. This is where Zippy has put in a lot of pressure, but no, finally with the bust out, Kamada has rarely had to Dragon Punch, and here it is. Oh, well, I was saying Dragon Punches may be rare, but your life may be rare at this point.
Inspired by the opponent, close H, far H to punish this DP, and now we're up against the corner. It's not going to be the kill at this meter, but just barely out of throw range here for Zippy.
Throw gets tech, but it was a delayed tech. There it is, going to be the 2M afterwards. Yeah, Kamada was very plus right there, and it's going to be taking Zippy.
This is Monarch for our next set.
Battle of the zoner, battle of the guy trying to get in around the zoner. Monarch did a great job of that versus rookies a minute ago when it was 6. Sora has a different breed, having armor on some of those rush moves, right?
Yeah.
It's not invincibility this time.
Ooh. Okay, caught out of the dash punch. Didn't lose too much, health or space for it, so not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of in now, right? It's even got the punish, no full conversion due to the distance, but at the very least, skill is in.
Yeah. Ran his way down. We took away 1 BP, but still a 2-3 step process to try and avoid any of these defensive options from Monarch.
Yep, Monarch going to be able to get the forward throw on this one. Opting not to toss into the corner, still getting the counter hit though.
Yeah. Okay, waited out past the butterfly and just waiting for it to pass on by. The ultimate dash punch is going to even up the life lead.
Yeah, and it's also going to put this great situation here for Soares. Now, the BC is prevalent, and yeah, I think Skill was looking for it. Even tried to back off of the jump in.
Yep. All right, ultimate butterfly tracking, just looking for any detonation. Even off of the dash punch, you can't escape.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it against the regular butterflies for sure, but the ultimate edition, they spend meter on it.
Ooh, spending meter on the ultimate arrow, clean spot dodge, but rapidly running out of health to work with here, Skill.
Yeah, Skill's going to need to rapidly approach the location if they're going to be able to make it through this because the chip is now there. Tried to go for crossover, I think accidentally got throw.
Yeah, definitely not what you're looking for at the full screen. Trying to avoid the onslaught of arrows, but nothing to be found.
First round there to Monarch, looking good. I'm so glad they picked this song, by the way.
It's so sick.
Yeah, I love Way to the World. Whatever rendition of Way to the World is in whatever video game, I love it.
I know, it goes so hard. But to be or not to be for Skill here, again, getting caught out by Zephyr.
Yep. Oh, but there it is. Oh, yes. Had not used the actual projectile, used the normal, right? So less recovery and was able to dodge in time.
There we go. All right, good awareness from Monarch here on that 50 meter, but that awareness isn't enough. Watch this.
Okay, punch the Stars ultimate. He's going to get the jump in. Okay, was just trying to go for the mid. And another throw right there. Not a ton of throws from Skills earlier, right? So Monarch was not ready for it, teching basically nothing.
All right, around a piece here. Pretty slow starts from both sides. The far L just to try and catch any of that movement.
Yeah, you know, it totally makes sense for Skill to have a slow start, right? Because one errant and incorrect decision puts them at full screen like this, right? So you need to be able to pick and choose your battles correctly.
Yeah, having a little bit more room to maneuver and retreat feels a lot better. The ultimate arrow checked by the dash punch. Skill has Monarch up against the corner, but again, it's a full 3 stocks on the BP Diamonds.
Yeah, using that EX arrow to try and get Skill away ASAP because they were threatened like a tiger in a cage. Pushing away.
All right, tracking off the ultimate butterfly. How do we make our way in? The full commit to the dash, only to get caught up by the H arrow. The butterfly waiting right behind, and Monarch takes game 1.
Yeah, that ultimate butterfly, I've been putting in so much work in every matchup that...
Okay, let me wait it out, retreat a little bit, and then dash punch so that I can avoid the amount of time that butterfly is actually on top of me. But with the tracking, it works out so well. With the 2H to start it off, Skill is up against this West Coast corner.
And that's going to be the hardest part to get out, because we were already having trouble approaching Matera. Now you have to be able to get out of the corner on top of that.
He said, dude, help me. Trying to cross through.
Okay, that doesn't have the passport to be able to fly from coast to coast.
Exactly. Ooh, okay, dash punch too well.
Okay, Punch the Stars is going to be able to keep pushing that on block. It hasn't been a single hit, but at the very least, you're getting that spacing. Ooh. However, Monarch recognizing that that far L is a pivotal tool in keeping you out. Got the anti-air, is going to be able to get the W.
Oos. There we go, a little close age action to anti-air. Skill straight out of the skies. Another round on the board here for Monarch.
Yeah. Skill, I mean, said that this was going to be a hard matchup, and it is showing through and through.
Oh,
finding a rush punch, though.
Okay, detonation not keeping you locked down for long. The 6XL challenge.
Okay, yeah, got that counter hit right there. Monarch trying to press to get out. Skill is going to love that. Going for the throw bait there on the ultimate.
Oh my god, finally in and finally able to make it lethal. Skill ties up the rounds.
Yeah, this is why you see Monarch playing the way he does, because if he does not play like that, Skill does that to him. He just gets in there and destroys him.
Have to lead these ambiguous staggers, these gaps to make it so that Skill doesn't feel you know, super comfortable committing to the full dash punch.
Yep. Trying to find the right time to cross over these arrows, but you know, Monarch placing these in situations where the butterfly could or could not get hit, and it's ambiguous for Skill.
Yep, and these micro dashes are so crucial. Monarch just backing Skill up against the wall and finds a full confirm off the butterfly detonation. It's not 100 for the SBA, but still, we've been waiting for this ultimate butterfly so much.
Oh, and yeah, it's paying off dividends to wait. No, didn't get the full conversion, was maybe waiting to try to reset. Caught before the armor was active. Skill doesn't have a lot of life to work with, but he's got to make something happen.
A drop into 3 straight hits, but finally the armor of the impact punch. Skill still needs 2 more good hits to bring this round back from the brink of defeat.
And I mean, the throws are set up. He got the counter hit there, didn't convert off of it. Ultimate butterfly is out. The chip damage is going to be too much, and it's for Skill to want to dodge, and that was the wrong time.
All but checkmated there. A second game on the board for Monarch. We saw, he was like, ooh, that's rough, buddy. Yeah, the spot dodge timing. I mean, you have to be ready for a second arrow there, commit to any way to try and stay alive. But now, 2 games on the board, 1 away from being sent home.
Yeah, Skill, you got to figure something out. Okay, just go straight into it. Does not even consider the Siegfried counter pick, right? Or not counter pick, but secondary.
Exactly.
And another anti-air right there. Monarch has just shown that anti-airs are abound. Ever since only one anti-air was like problematic and missed, and that was versus rookies at the very beginning. Ever since then, they've been on point.
Yeah, exactly. All right, the late detonation there, just waiting for it, trying to catch the roll from Skill already. 50% down, the spot dodge on the impact punch.
Yeah, true punish on that as well.
Yeah.
So very good timing right there for the spot dodge.
Yeah, because really, what other blue flash are you looking for there in the mid-screen against Soares? But it's scary, right? You have to leave those gaps in your pressure to look for it. Now Monarch on set point.
Full screen combo to finish that off. Almost a perfect Monarch, looking like the morale is unshakable.
Our stalwart tower defense just staying alive.
Okay, another impact. Trying to go for the 6XL. Trying to get back in there. He's got a little bit of that distance closed, but it's just so hard to move through.
Yeah, so many of these low starry skies, and now taking to the skies only to get caught by the butterfly detonation and no escape throw off the delay.
Yeah, I mean, even if that didn't hit the way it did, it would have unblockable at that point. Was trying to use the armor, and Monarch, recognizing that, is able to take the game by doing it before the armor comes out.
Took the game and patience so that you're not getting swept up into Ryazo's pace, which I think has been the detriment to everybody else so far, but sending it with the immediate gate.
Yeah, and immediately trying to take pressure right after that gate was Tororo blocking the overhead. Yeah, knowing when to take turns, right? Ooh, the Thunder Flash, though. Yep. And that's the hard part about fighting Seox, is that he can take his turn back a lot.
Swung into the parry. That ultimate Rekka finds nothing. The super jump finds Ryazo back into the corner now, but didn't believe in the spaced out 2M.
Yeah, 2M, it's not a ton of hit stops, so you still have to think about it. I wonder if that was meant to be Dragon Punch because of the jump. But, you know, I mean, whatever the case may be, running away with it is Ryazo, trying to force a PC. They're finally coming out.
Walk up 5L, and finally the Brave counter comes out from Tororo.
Yeah, you know, sometimes when somebody's putting pressure like that on the corner, it's not actually about opening you up. It's about getting you to use your resources so that you don't have it later.
Yeah. It's like, I believe that you're not going to mash on this, so any way to make you uncomfy, but catches out the run-up H-gate.
Yeah, not at all afraid of the throw bait. That had given Riazo so much mileage, but here's another thing that gave Riazo mileage. It's that movement. Full conversion. SBA on deck. There it is.
There we go. The link off of H-gate takes round number 1 for Riazo off the super.
Yeah, fully optimized combo all the way to the corner. That's how you know Riazo is trying to win this.
And you can see even on the stage, right, that trophy just barely out of the peripheral vision of these competitors. They're fighting for that prize.
Oh, yes. Riazo can feel the energy of that trophy over there. Wants it bad.
Exactly.
Start with the 6-6M right there, able to catch the flame wall.
Walking out off of the EX bonk.
And you're noticing Riazo's only approaching when certain moves have been used.
Yeah. Yeah, really doubled down on the parry on minus frames there. Thought we would disengage and try and challenge off of the parry, but instead 6XL finally believes in the 2M.
Yeah, I was able to get the hit on that one, getting the BC out. Okay, delayed text. You're going to take a little bit of damage, but at least you're fine.
Yep. Ooh. Walk up, stagger, but no fuzzy tech to be seen from Totoro. Just trying to get a little bit of data on these defensive habits.
Yeah, and you're noticing not a lot of brave counters from Totoro on this either.
Yeah.
This is indicative of his defensive playstyle.
Exactly. Just trying to hold on to that HP advantage. If you start using your brave counters too early, all of a sudden that HP differential doesn't matter quite as much.
Yeah.
Walk it out.
And what seemed like, you know, somebody trying to put it into Riazo's tempo, Totoro's tempo is all this.
Yeah. How do we open up a lad? Just so content to down back in the corner.
Ooh.
Finally, the 6XL finds it.
Yeah, you try to get the lad to do a 2M from full range and make something happen. Then that's when you would punish them into Skybound art.
Yep. It's not quite going to be the kill. You live with a sliver, but any throw tech should be enough. A couple chip there. No, don't even have to worry. It's the JH.
It was the real overhead that time. So many times, Riazo so strong in every fighting game. And I mean, this game, strike throw, very, very good.
Ooh. Yeah, a little late on the spot dodge, unfortunately. That empty hand finds the far L for Riazo.
It's not just going to find the far L for Riazo. It's going to find Riazo's offensive pressure over Totoro, keeping them in the corner. There's a lot of delay techs here, so they're going to keep taking damage on this.
Yeah. Ooh. Once again, caught out with the EX Rekka up against the corner. It's not going to be the kill even with the SBA, but you get that BP right back.
Skybound art here. BP's back. And this is basically a check situation, right?
Yes.
No life to your name. You have to basically make every correct decision.
Ooh. Yeah, didn't believe in the
counter.
far L hit. Just committed to the stagger and that 2M just reaching on the claws. Riazo a third round in a row.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no reason for Riazo to slow down there, right? It doesn't matter if you get counter hit in that situation, because look at the life lead.
Exactly. Look at the life lead, look at the positioning. I'm in the middle of the screen. Like, what's the worst that happens?
Yeah, I'm going to stick out this 2M.
Exactly. You got counter hit 2M and all we got was a flame wall for it. So big chilling, but finally up against the wall. The immediate brave counter. The difference in the defensive options is so apparent.
Yeah, Totoro recognizes that he needs to be way more offensive if he's going to be able to stop Riazo, because otherwise you're going to be stuck in the corner like he was before.
Ooh, you see, we went for the walk forward down back 3 times in a row, just trying to look for that ultimate Rekka, still not caught out, and Totoro trying to hold on to this corner pressure any way he can.
And Totoro crossover on the Shadow Step, does not want that to happen, but the ultimate Thunder Flash, that's a hard knockdown.
Yeah, you saw the blue flash trying to do something safe for the empty hand, but instead it was that ultimate parry.
He tries the Thunder Flash, gets the punish on this one. It's going to be close. I don't know if it's going to kill, though.
It's not the greatest starter. I mean, we have the basketball bombos to bring you to the corner, but I don't think it's going to be enough with combo limit.
Yeah, combo limit, but you're still going to get the plus frames off the flip out in the air. Totoro staying alive.
There we go. Trying to stay locked in, but we see the tiniest hint of a smirk from Totoro. Says, all right, let me stop this momentum right here.
Yeah, even try to get as optimized as humanly possible. That EX is going to stop. Thunder Flash into the forward, but not as much recovery as I think Riazo was expecting.
Yeah.
They were probably looking for a punish on that.
Exactly. Tried to mash out, and Totoro said, no, I was ready for this.
Okay, +2, but yeah, goes immediately for the EX.
Yeah, there we go.
Or the ultimate.
Yep, clean knockdown off of that UDP, and now just grab him by the collar to pull up to the throw. 2 more could be lethal, so BC's out. Baits the throw with the run-up gate.
Yeah, we thought Totoro couldn't get the throw baited earlier, but evidently that's the case. Got the hit. Is going to be able to use every resource to their name. One apiece now.
Totoro, inspired by the lands he stands upon, the wake-up mash to tie it up 1-1.
Yeah, definitely thinking about cheeseburgers in the mind right now.
taking a
more offensive style of play for this.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of the difference, right? It was able to force Ryazo into defensive state. And, you know, 6 may have Thunder Flash, but it's still kind of hard to defend as the character in those situations.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to enforce our will a little bit now that we've gotten a little bit of data, but gets a little bit of damage in the corner. Again, the mash out delay on that far L.
Delays the name of the game to try to get a top player to open up and get hit.
All right, decent life lead here for Ryazo, but still trying to keep Totoro on his toes. The 2H puts you back into the corner. No, it's not a full confirm, but the spot dodge sniped out by Eureka.
Yeah, no, I mean, and this is why most of the jumps are getting unanswered, is because you do not want the chance of your anti-air getting sniped out.
Yep. All right, Totoro, how can we stop the bleeding? Ultimate firewall, but really nothing found. You're in the same position you were, just with a little bit less meter.
Yeah, way more 6XL, way more 2M here from Totoro. This is what we saw from the previous game that got him forward. But again, got the Hell's Gate, stopped it in its tracks with the 5L. That's the second time.
Fuzzy 5L catches out the throw bait. The spot dodge on the empty hand. Now up against the corner. Totoro doesn't quite get the cash out on as much as he'd like. But still, one more hit's enough.
Yeah, unfortunately didn't have the EX Orkin available, so was not able to get the most damage possible. But I don't think he's going to worry about that because he's using the meter to the full effectiveness.
Do we want to spend that Brave counter? I think a lot of people would, but scared. Okay, that would have put you in chip damage territory, so
oh no!
Hold on, it's not a checkmate with the UDP. Still enough HP to stay alive. Ryazo takes the round.
Yeah, popping off, but hopefully not too early because there is still a lot more to go here.
Hands back on the controller, buddy. We still got to lock in. First to 3, you got to take 2 more games.
Oh, and there it is, Dash L. And remember, that change to Orkin right there made it so he had to go for that combo. Way less damage than he normally would have got, way less, worse situation.
Exactly. Ooh, sniped out with a 6XM. No firewall to be seen.
Firewall, incredible move, but it does have startup. What? That conversion was OD, bro!
That's what I'm saying. It was the tipper of every single one of the specials, too. Only brings us back out to the mid-screen here, vying for dominance. The mash out is clean.
Yeah, a very good reaction to recognize that confirmed. Woo! Oh, huge damage here.
All right, I'll see you next round, bro.
Yeah, basically.
We know how this goes. I'm looking away. That's more of my comfort character.
That was only half the combo, too. That's the craziest part. There was way more coming in after that.
There was more damage just waiting in the wings, but Totoro ties up the rounds.
All right, well, tied up the rounds. We're tied up in games. The 5Ls are starting to stop people in their tracks as much as humanly possible.
Yep. With the EX bonk, far L on whiff. My footsies are nice. The spot dodge on the ultimate wrecker. Ryazo taking a second.
Yeah, to push forward and try to go for Thunder Flash, but yes, that does have that recovery on it now. You're going to see big damage coming out here.
There we go. We don't build up the 100, so not able to find the Brave Point strip, but we do find the counter hit. Far L up against the corner 6. Not the healthiest of characters in the cast. So now off the double auto combo, it's Totoro with the SBA.
Totoro going from being on the back burner to making it right back there. 2-1 now off of these adjustments. Ryazo, though, still looking like, yeah, okay, but I still got this, though.
The everlasting no work again, man. There's so many options I have to look out for.
Yeah. But all right, game number 4 here. And again, that far L in the places that Totoro is pushing is stopping Ryazo in the tracks. We're barely seeing as much offensive pressure, and we're barely seeing Thunder Flash work.
Exactly. No commits to the far M and far H's again. Doesn't want to be sniped out by these ultimate empty hands.
He's got those long dancers legs, man. I don't know what to say.
That's what I'm saying, man. Spaced out off of the 2M. No spacing trap to be found. The ultimate firewall is the clean confirm against the wall.
I think it might be, it's going to be close if he's not dead, but it's going to be very close. Okay, he's dead.
I was wondering off of a second Raging Strike, but we had 50 for the ultimate firewall. It's set point Totoro.
Wow, Totoro completely explosive in that last moment. Didn't look like Ryazo was going to die, but one stray hit.
Oops. All right, Ryazo fighting back here. I like confirm off of the Rekka mid-screen.
Yep, trying to go for the low on that one. But again, you know, his counter hit confirms off of close L has been just immaculate so far.
He's too nice. Walk up.
And again, see, there it is again. That's the second time he's done that confirmed.
Yeah, we've seen so many of these fuzzy mashes coming out from Totoro Ryazo, looking for really risky ways to reset pressure. No throws to be seen. The ultimate Rekka stopped in its tracks by Bonk.
Yeah, no throws, no ultimate Rekkas. All Totoro right now as the PP is getting used. Ryazo still not being too deterred right now.
Yeah. Plus top of the axe kick, the clean counter hit. No, you left so much damage on the table.
I think he didn't have the skill that he wanted to use first, because normally you go to Hell's Gate,
yeah,
and that was on cooldown. Oh, trying to whip punish it right there with the SSBA. It's not going to kill, but this is a great position for Ryazo. Now, just barely blocking it out. Is Totoro trying to walk away? That was an accident! Didn't want the Thunder Flash, and is unfortunately going to lose Winners Finals off of that.
You didn't get the cinematic, so the SSBA didn't kill. You got that. Might be dethroned as more and more confident gamers make their way into the family, but game number 1, let's see it.
And we're going to see a very similar start to what it is. You have to have with skill, right?
Yeah.
With skill, he had to start pensively so he can make it around the zoning first, and then he didn't get put in a terrible situation.
Exactly. Ooh, the low arrow catching out the riding free. We saw a lot of 5L early on, right, to try and safely preempt that, but especially up against the corner, it's not the scariest thing in the world to check with that 6XL.
6XL is going to make a good start for Monarch happen here. As over half the life, the Skybound Art is going to come out. The BP is going to go away, and they're going to get their own back early.
Yeah, I wonder, this is one of the first times we've seen the SBA from Monarch, I think, really heavily prioritizing, taking away that BP to make sure that, you know, Beatrix, one of these characters you can never count out, especially with that Delta Clock. Now, up against the corner, I mean, you might actually be one hit away from dying. Yeah,
it is genuinely quite scary as a result of that. And you can see Monarch still not trying to errantly press a single button as a result of that.
Exactly. Lethal is on the table, especially with 100 for Gamera. He's like, please don't riding free. Please don't 6XL me.
Okay, well, that's with Delta Clock. This is actually a better starter for... Oh, I was going to say for Monarch that was a better starter because it wasn't going to kill in that time. But hey, that's even better.
Not only was it not going to kill, it wasn't going to confirm the whip on that Raging Strike. All right, Monarch able to breathe a deep sigh of relief.
You know, this weekend there's been a lot of whiffed Raging Strikes versus Monarch specifically.
I know. Something mandate of heaven, but stuck here in the corner, I don't know. It's looking like a hellish situation.
Gamera trying to assess the face of Monarch Spirit to try to figure out how to open this player up.
Yep. Or makes you crack. Ooh, caught up on the, late active frames of the Ultimate Thunderbird.
It was so late, Gamera wasn't ready to pick it up.
He was like, huh? So I didn't think that would hit either. The preemptive check with a 5L. No, a little bit too shallow on the throw.
Yeah, that's going to be a full knockdown right there. Monarch going for the throw, has been putting these throws in a position where Gamera is just not ready for a single one of them. BC comes out, is trying to bait again, but the 6XL comes out with the Delta Clock, has Super Skybound Art on deck.
Wait, the fadeaway jump sniped out here by Gamera. This SSBA cinematic isn't enough without stripping that last Brave Point. You live with a sliver.
Okay, but oh no! An accidental Raging Strike was trying to BC on that one. That actually forced Gamera to use the resources. This is actually really good for Monarch, but the riding free to connect at the last second.
Gamera took the round, and he's still upset about it, and I think we all would be too. It should have been a much more open and shut case, but still, 1 round apiece here, just in this game number 1.
Yeah, no, you want to make sure that everything you do is clean, because no matter who you're going up against in this top 4 is somebody who is very difficult to defeat.
Exactly.
You're going to need to bring 100% cleanness.
Can't leave anything on the table. The fadeaway on Zephyr, the 6XL to check.
Yeah, trying to go for the ultimate fireball in preparation for Monarch's fireball, but not finding the right time. Okay, the Thunderbird, ultimate.
Ooh, and the butterfly is still tracking, just keeping you locked down with the delayed detonation. Able to find the perfect spot dodge timing through the Great Fall.
Yeah, very fortuitous for Monarch that Batera's ultimate butterfly does not go away even when hit.
Exactly.
Okay, force BC. And these throws are putting in so much work for Monarch right now. Yep. Another BC.
Yeah, tried to go for throw bait, knowing that throw is lethal at this range. Another ultimate butterfly, but 5L does the job.
Okay, that is going to be first game in Monarch.
How do I organize my mental stack against what Gamera is showing as we head into game number 2, sticking on the Beatrix?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't exactly like an open and shut case in regards to Beatrix being bad for this, right? Yeah. It was still kind of close with 1 round apiece.
Exactly.
So he's just believing in his character, believing in victory, and trying to make his way through Monarch's level of zoning.
There we go. The dash delay 2L, no fuzzy to be seen on Gamera's side, but the walk back, 5H, a little bit too far for that wall bounce.
Yeah, and Gamera hasn't yet assessed that Monarch is willing to just sit there and block, right? So he's not really going to get opened up by too many shimmies.
Exactly. Yeah, just chilling out, waiting for guaranteed BC points. Fine and spending a diamond just to try and find some space.
Okay. All right, there's a throw attack right there. Commodore was getting destroyed by throws before. Already in adjustment. Oh, full combo.
Yeah, there we go. We went for the slow fireball this time, and not only did it catch up the spot dodge, it was enough for a full confirm to the corner. Now Gamera back in proper shape.
Yeah, going for the empty jump, trying to show if it's a higher low, or trying not to show if it's a higher low on this one. It's going to get Skybound Art, is going to get this round.
Oof. There we go, an SBA to put the win back in Gamera's sails.
Yeah, put a tourniquet on the bleeding right now. Gamera still in this. Remember, we are 3 out of 5 the whole way through this. Lots of notes are going to get taken. A lot of adaptations are going to get shown.
Exactly. plus frames. Monarch's like, it's fine. I'll lose a little bit of space, some IB per meter. We're looking for that ultimate arrow and, of course, that ultimate butterfly as well.
Yep, a great spot dodge so far on the arrows. Well, finally getting caught by one. No! Oh, yes! Was because of the crossover, they were closer than Monarch was ready for. So that was way more negative than it would have been.
Yeah, just waiting for the spacing on that 2U, but Gamera one step ahead, like you said. Now, block string in the throw, up against the wall here, knowing that next hit has SBA behind it.
Yeah, and there it is again, the stoicism from Monarch. He remains stalwart and not trying to deal with those shimmies. Gets out with the 6XL. Oh, counter hit!
The bass boost resounds to the crowd. Now Monarch with the raging strike has you up against the wall. Ultimate arrow, the double butterflies are set.
Yeah, was looking for one of the butterflies to be activated before BCing was Gamera, because that is one of the smartest spots to do it in.
Oh,
command throw.
Scooped up with the command throw. It's the kill too. No extra damage required. Gamera ties it up.
Yeah, I mean, I think is time in between rounds.
Yeah.
Because Gamera likes to meditate, and then Monarch loves to look at the notes, right?
Exactly.
So people are going to take their time. We're in for the long haul, I think.
Take time to reconsider. We got the micro nap, the reassess of the notes, but the recall working out clean for Monarch as the Zephyr brings us all the way to the corner.
Yeah, keeping it there, but just a bit too far away. That's great for Monarch. Going to take that all the way to the bank.
There we go. The butterflies just chilling here. It's still tracking. Be careful.
And I mean, it's still out even after the throw, so that's going to allow way too many plus frames for Monarch and way too much advantage for this corner position.
Yeah, and that safe media as well, even with the threat of UDP just chilling on the side, that mid-range ultimate arrow.
Yeah, tried to Thunderbird their way out, but the ultimate arrow too far. Not able to make it happen.
All right, waited out. A little delay on the low arrow, but Gamera just chilling out, looking for an opportunity to 6XL and run our way through.
Okay, overhead. You know, you were talking about how there was a double-digit negative overhead, but sometimes you have to represent it on the opponent. Ooh, wow, that's high up. That's full conversion. Oh, ultimate DP, one of the first we've seen all set. Actually, the first we've seen all set, right?
Yeah, exactly. A clean knockdown, but speaking of ultimates, it's the ultimate fireball to push us back into the corner. Throw bait off of the M Thunderbird. We're running away with the damage. It's not quite the kill just yet.
Yeah, save that SBA for the confirm here in just about a second, but the throw comes out. It wasn't command throw, so it doesn't kill. Trying to get that chip damage going, and now Chip Guts is gone. Riding free is just as free as it sounds.
Only so much you can do. A clean wake-up spot dodge to avoid the immediate chip damage checkmate, but Gamera had so much meter left in the bank.
Yeah, Gamera recognizing what the chip situation was, getting these far heavies in the proper moments. I mean, it is one of the best spacing tools in the entire game. And Gamera capitalizing again off a crouch confirm.
Oops. All right, EX Thunderbird, keep the combo going. No ultimate Thunderbird ender in here.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep these 6XLs, these projectiles prominent. And again, no shimmies are bitten on.
Yeah.
Monarch is definitely somebody who's just willing to try to reaction tech. Nice, the far L to be able to stop the riding free. Not going to get the full conversion, but at the very least you stop Gamera's offense.
Yeah, was ready for the detonation, at least to keep the combo going a little bit longer. Now we have another 50. It could be ultimate arrow. It could be ultimate butterfly. Waited out and spaced ourselves to see if Gamera flinches.
Gamera did flinch right there, but luckily for them, Monarch wasn't close enough. Now these throws are back in the repertoire. Throws were destroying Gamera in the first round.
And now we go back to layer one. Let's see if we can find one more throw. We do, but on Gamera's side, now SSBA available for both.
Another throw right there. Delta Clock still available. And finally the command throw to finish it off. Gamera ended the last game with that and ended this game with it as well.
You have to gamble with your life on this riding free that Monarch has been doing such a good job of checking with the 5Ls and the ultimate arrows. But heading into it, game number 4.
Yeah, could be set here for Gamera. So whatever Monarch looked at in that notebook is going to have to come out now. No more secrets.
Yeah, cheating on the test a little bit, looking at your opponent's notes. Let's see if it's going to be enough to prevail.
Yep, Fireball's going to get spot dodged, but that's going to allow Gamera to still be able to 6XL their way in. And yeah, here's the throws, right? You mentioned it. Why don't I just actually do it?
We're now rotating it a little bit more skeevy now. Run up for the 2L to try and catch the delay tech. Nothing found. Monarch full committing to the down back.
Yeah, even after Gamera was trying to condition that throws were present for real this time, still did not guess on the shimmy.
He said, bro, you want to throw so bad? He's like, no, I'm good. I still got more HP to fight with, and I still have more meter to run up for ultimate butterfly. It still keeps tracking.
Oh, yeah, the throw finally tech. Ultimate butterfly finally gone as well.
Ooh. No meter on the side of Monarch here, so uses the Brave counter, able to find the throw after this effort. This has been the round of throws. No strikes to be seen. Yeah, and as I say that, 6XL.
Yeah, not a ton of strikes have been making it, though. Throw has definitely been most of the damage. Finally, we are attacking at a quick moment right there. The Zephyr jumps over, and Monarch is going to stay alive on that one.
There we go. One round closer to tying things back up. We want to see that game 5.
Oh, boy, yeah. Here we go. Already with the 5L is able to catch the extended hurt box of the fireball.
Yeah, I thought that caught the riding free, and then I looked at the cooldowns. Wait, the extension not working out here, but still Gamera able to fight back. Button tech.
Yeah, I mean, was probably trying to meaty right there and then ended up getting, caught by it. But there's the 5H. Good situation here for Gamera.
Yeah. Imagine we go for Ultimate Thunderbird. No, just LDP Ender. Don't want to spend any meter for this. Threaten the SBA, but no, a little too shallow on the throw. Now it's run up close L once again for Monarch, evening up the HP. The spot dodge through the Ultimate Fireball and waiting. You want a riding free so bad.
Yeah, definitely trying to cover every option of movement for Gamera. Gamera not biting and willing to down back here. Is taking a lot of throws, but you've only got so much life left before Chip becomes your end.
Walk it out. Quadruple arrow, the 5L to check. Any attempt at riding free, but no, you're chained in this corner. Two more BP. And one more 6XL. We get one more game in this loser semis.
So much to third.
Yeah, we got to be thinking about those checks at the end of the day. Looking for top 3 in game number 5, starting it out with an L riding free.
Yeah. And I mean, that we know that Monarch can defensively do it, and so does Gamera. So he's like, I got to get in immediately before that becomes a factor. Try to take away as many brave points as possible and make it harder for you to defend.
There we go. Off of the Zephyr, just stagger off of these close L's, just waiting for the butterfly to make its approach.
Try to get the plus frames there, but it doesn't matter how many plus frames you got. If there's a gap, then I can get it through it.
Yeah. Again, that's like one of the first times we've seen UDP from Monarch. Just shows it every so often to keep it on Gamera's brain, but opts to hold on to that meter for the U Butterfly.
Yeah, throws getting tech. Gamera is no longer getting just body backed by these throws anymore. And yeah, no ultimate DP on this one. We've got counter hit here.
There we go, runs down the ultimate butterfly timer with a combo of your own. Finally bites on the throw bait. Gamera has been chewing it this entire set and finally comes up clean. EX Fireball into Raging Strike. Gamera on set point.
Yeah, just like you said, had been trying to condition Monarch this entire time. Seemed literally impossible up until now. It does show that Monarch can crack. Defense is not completely there.
Can the fortress named Monarch finally fall? Can tower defense find a gap? Finally, the spot dodge, the EX Thunderbird makes Gamera's way in.
Yeah, the unstoppable object has moved all the way to the corner versus the immovable one, but can they find another shimmy? Because it seems like all these strikes are gaining a lot of meter for Monarch. You see all these instant blocks, right?
Yeah.
Ultimate skills are going to be on deck left and right.
Exactly. The meter economy matters so much. Get all the meter where you can. That ultimate butterfly has done so much, and so has the ultimate arrow. So much space out of the corner as Gamera vies for the BC.
Yep, it's going to be able to get a throw on this one right now. Just sets up the easy way in. Is trying to bait everything out. Has got the hit right now. Gamera has every resource in the world and should be able to take it with the Skybound Dart. And that'll be it. Gamera has taken out Monarch. It's such a close set.
Beatrix stays alive. Monarch.
Chance at the Arc World Tour Championship. Ryazo coming in. Game number 1 versus Gamera.
Trying to catch out on the lion's share of the paycheck, but the wolf is in the way. The EX pillar, yeah, it's all the way across the screen, but it gives us more than enough time to install with the 5U.
Yeah, was able to get the anti-air on that one, but no conversion from Gamera. The Thunder Flash is going to stop your pressure. And because you tried to spot dodge a little bit late, that was a true punish.
Here we go. Found you on the other side. Escapes the corner for it. We still have our back to this East Coast corner, but quite a bit more space taken. So many 6XLs, and finally lets the parry rock.
Yeah, Ultimate Thunder Flash was not wanting to block any further because they knew the corner positioning was coming up. Stays away from that Lariat. Not only do you want to give Versusia the refund, but you definitely don't want to have to block whatever comes after.
Exactly. Such a jump scare special there to have to look out for. Same could be said of the 6 Eureka, but and as we say it, spend the 50 for it just to try and find some space.
Yeah, was maybe looking for the Dragon Punch to come after, or maybe even the BC, right? Because it is a special attack. Not biting on the shimmy. We saw Gamera have to go through so many shimmy situations in the previous set, and now he's starting to take those.
Yeah, wanted to wait up for the throw, maybe a UDP, but instead all you're eating is 100 meters damage worth of a combo here from Gamera.
Yeah, when it comes to Versusia, 100 meters combo damage is a ton. She does not hold back, especially when 6 is on the field, because again, such low life.
Yeah, what is it, 14K? It's definitely not on the higher end of the cast. But still, this grounded confirm gives us so much room to work with on combo limit. Gamera about to build the 50 for a refund. No, instead it's 5U.
Yep, at least getting the charge in case of that Lariat, right? You want to be able to get that. Oh my goodness, jumps out of the pressure right there. Pretty rare that Ryazo misses a meaty, I'd say.
Yeah, right? Ultimate Rekka, again, the scoop off of the tick throw.
Throw again, and at the beginning of the previous game set, that Ryazo has noticed that he was dying to throws at the beginning of that.
Yeah. taking a little bit of data from that previous set, says, oh, okay, you're just going to down back forever, but finally the bust out from Gamera. Spent that BP, no extra damage taken, still 2 diamonds in the bank, and Ryazo 1 hit away. You have to escape this corner somehow.
Ooh, just stays away, not even trying to anti-air, right? Even though Vasusia's large stature could maybe allow for it. Oh, and as soon as I say that, finds the right time to do it.
She's tall, and she's got the width on the 2H to snipe you out of the sky on that neutral jump. Ryazo's like, all right, you got me. All right, next game, next game. He's like, no. Let's linger in the victory for a little bit before we head into game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, Ryazo has lost once to put him down into the finals, right?
Yeah.
And didn't look deterred at any of those losses.
Exactly.
The mental, the fighter, the warrior spirit.
Oh, but this warrior spirit of the wolf boy being decimated by the mash out here. Tried to find something off of parry on minus phase, but instead, Gamera brings you right back to the corner.
Yeah, says your warrior spirit. Doesn't matter if you can't play the game as well as I do. You need to find a way to defend from this. U-Claw's not going to be able to do it this time.
Yeah, the whips on the 5L, just trying to catch any of these preemptive attempts to advance on Ryazo's side.
Ooh.
Maybe a little bit more careful now that we have Eureka.
Yeah, went for the delayed right there to try and be able to catch Gamera, press the buttons. Got it, but didn't believe.
Yeah.
Now runs in as Gamera going for the throw. It gets tech, though.
Yeah, what I'm noticing a lot as well, right? You know, we're being a lot more conservative with the backdashes once we have that 50 up, but still Ryazo finds the hit to put Gamera into the corner.
Yeah, because, you know, I love that you bring that up because in the winner set, backdashes were getting bodied by Gamera,
Yes.
by Ryazo from Gamera, right?
Ooh, but sending it now, even with the 100, I think Ryazo has a lot more on his plate to worry about now that he's one touch. That ultimate lariat gets us so much space.
Yeah, but it's also gone. Oh, tried to go for the super skybound art off of the negative frames.
Yeah.
Not the correct decision, unfortunately. Gamera ready for it. And look at Gamera's face locked in.
Locked in, just staring at the screen. I mean, we had the SSBA. We were in chip damage range. You wanted to bet it all before any jump scare caught you out, but instead, it's the gate to start things off.
Knockdown present right here was trying to go for the throw bait again. The overhead this time, though.
Yeah, hard knockdown on the counter hit as well, keeping you locked down in the corner, but still, that 5L mash out. Gamera's got more than enough HP to mash out, but the backdash finally getting caught by Eureka once again.
Yeah, now that the backdashes looked like they were less prevalent, he finally found one, and that was, he got a lot of mileage off it before, but not nearly as much mileage this time.
Yep. No, evened up in the corner, whip on that close H.
The BC is going to get blocked, which means Gamera is going to be able to stay in and keep that pressure going.
Yep.
Okay, all the ultimate skills are back for, Ryazo.
Oh, that was scary. I thought we were going to get caught. The 5U install still had enough time to spot dodge, though.
Yeah, empty hand back again, so you still kind of do it. There is above 50 meter. Got to be watching for it. Trying to go for the sweep on this, and yeah, is not willing to play that rock, paper, scissors game.
That was so scary. I wonder if we could have been able to kill off that baited up BC. The run-up sweep.
Okay, that's going to wall bounce. He's going to be able to get 6-6H off that. He's got to use his resource. Oh, wait, hold on. Only one hit. Is that going to drop? Yeah, it is.
No!
It is.
Oh my god, but no punish from Gamera. Still all the meter in the world.
Oh,
You dropped the combo. Only thing
and no
you
combo
did
right there for Ryazo. Could not finish it off right now. Everybody's dropping everything, and it is not looking good. Trying to stay away from it, but the fireball, 2 critical drops there from Ryazo has kept him from taking that round.
The horror, the heartbreak, the 2
Strongest players you ever seen play this game. And then after that, even if you make the reverse sweep, you got to beat the guy who beat you in winners finals.
Exactly.
It's going to be a hard fought battle. Here we go.
Yep. An uphill battle, but we got to take it one round at a time and one close L match at a time. When it works, it's Abare. When it's EX Pillar, it's the opportunity for 5U. But Eureka getting us so much space.
Yeah, finally getting a counter hit 5H like in terms of one of those frame traps.
Yeah.
But it had just not been happening before. Finally getting as much damage as possible.
Okay, go for the tournament combo. Just get a little bit of room to breathe here. A clean confirm into the SBA. Ryazo, round up.
Yeah, and that's the thing is we've seen Ryazo lose so many times so far, and it's just not let any of these losses deter them.
Yeah.
They've always had a smile on their face through this. They've always been able to come right back.
All right, off to a decent start off of the double Rekka here. Caught up by a straight fireball, only to get ran under for the dive kick.
Yeah, that's one of the best ways to anti-air in a lot of fighting games, honestly. If you can't get a true anti-air, but Rekka is going to be able to stop that.
Yeah, this was catching out backdash, but now it's just catching out the dash, the counter hit, frame trap coming out from Ryazo once again.
Yeah, full damage is just going to go for the combo limit.
Yep. Walk it out.
Ooh, tried to go for the shimmy with the 5H, but it got jumped out. And now Gamera has got the damage here. He's going to get that stock back.
Because you've been such a big delay. Now you're up against the wall against Gamera. Next hit builds 100.
Ooh. Ooh. Fight the way out, though. Again, this is just one of those morale things. It feels like you can't get rid of Ryazo's morale.
Yeah. Trying to stay alive now. U-Pillar takes
Yeah.
away all that remaining HP, and it's a checkmate lariat. No spot dodge to be seen. Gamera 1 round away from making it to Grand Finals.
Stone Cold's killer face. He wants to make this happen versus Riazo right here, right now. Riazo, though, he's still got a round. He just needs to be able to take this one to stay alive for a little bit longer. Empty hand does get dodged, though.
Yeah, such a well-timed spot dodge, maybe even a little bit preemptive. The back throw puts you right up against the corner. The 5U just waiting for an opportunity to strike.
Yep, and another backdash right there. Now, normally we've been talking about how these backdashes have been getting bodied, but they've been a little bit better placed. This time, though, the Eureka.
All right, ultimate DP gets us a clean knockdown, looking for a little corpse run quarter carry, only to get mashed out with the counter hit to end. Send it with the shadow step. What's our response, Gamera?
Yeah, Gamera now trying to finally pivot. Oh my goodness, Riazo didn't react.
This West Coast corner is cursed. So many opportunities to take lead and take momentum into your hands.
Yep, trying to make sure that Riazo falters by using as many chip damage moves as possible. Gets the confirm, should be in, and that's gonna do it. Gamera is able to take out the person that sent them to losers at the very beginning, because this is gonna be a good one. There it is, I like that, thank you.
That's the energy I wanna hear for our final set. And of course, we gotta let the intros rock. This final boss coming in from the loser's side, the Lord of Flames, trying to stake his title up in winners.
Yes, he can be the Lord of Grandblue Fantasy versus Rising after this if he's able to take it. Remember, we are in a double elimination bracket system, and Tororo is coming from the winners.
Yep.
Gamera has to win 2 sets to be able to strike down the Lord.
And off to a good start with the 6XL check. No stocks gained, but we have such a positional advantage in the corner right now at perfect 4-8 spacing, but interrupts the flame carpet.
Yeah, not only with the interrupt on the flame carpet, but is able to get their stock and a fireball in there.
Yeah.
Snuck. Gamera went from just being defensive now, having a little offense, but gone away already.
All right, far L, flame carpet, only to get dashed out and checked with a 2L from Gamera. Maybe a little bit too much patience on Tororo's side.
Yeah, it was honestly greed right there because they decided to go for Trauma Rise stacks and just ended up allowing for Gamera to run forward. Well, I'm going to get a stack of my own.
There we go. Ultimate Pillar, we got the refund, we got 5U, we got plus flames on bound, but a little bit too shallow. Yeah, that dash acceleration is so tricky.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest parts about playing Versusio when you're up close to the opponent is you think you're going to run up throw, and it's like, well, you didn't hold run up for long enough.
Exactly. You were 0.1 seconds a little bit too early for your own good. The antsiness on your own offense might seal Gamera's fate in round number 1. You're 1 throw away. Same could be said of Tororo after this chip damage.
Oh, nice. Use the last BC to stay away from all the chip on the ultimate pillar.
Yeah, clean work because it just decimates your HP even on block. Just waiting on top of the orb, avoiding the pillar as well, and finds the 6-6L.
Yeah, Gamera with an input error, getting 2H when they probably wanted any other EX chip out attack.
Yeah, all of your
Super
cooldowns
unfortunate.
up and none to be seen. Round 1 to Tororo.
Trying to get the +2 situation on that, didn't actually end up getting it, and Gamera taking that to the corner.
Waited out, shimmy off of the dash startup, but nothing to be found. We still find that mash out from Tororo, dashing in Gamera, or Tororo's face once again for the throw.
Yep, just trying to get as much of that chip damage in there with the ultimate cut. Wow, frame trap.
Yep, even with the stagger, still able to confirm off the double close out. Not the most damage in the world, but Nimbus, even with the whip, we find the pickup, the scramble on 2L, but no kill.
Yeah, thanks to the combo limit right there, saving Tororo's life. The Brave counters, though, coming out left and right. You're going to start getting closer and closer to that chip situation.
Yeah, I thought we could bait out a reaction there, just threatening the ultimate pillar, but instead Gamera now up against the corner with no BP to his name.
Oh, and then the mash out right there from Gamera.
Yeah.
No BP to your name, but it doesn't matter because the life lead is strong.
All right, all right. Round apiece here in game number 1. Not going to go quietly into the night. We send it with the EX orb to get our 5U.
Yeah, and just staying away right there. You know, we're trying to find the best parts of 6XL if you're Tororo, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get into that zoning situation if you are him.
Ooh. 5H. Just autopiloted into the fireball. Still able to find our way back down. No counter hit starter, but such a good damage off of that close H on that UDP.
Yeah, it's going to be a skybound art. Your BP is going to be gone. You're going to be in a check situation due to this life deficit being insanity.
Yep.
And a Trauma Ride stack off the Lord Strike. Finish it off.
Far M. Zehrisen for that first. The dark mode Google Docs.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, here it is, game number 2 right there. Already a whiff punish, and yeah, it has always been touted that move is very whiff punishable for Skill 5H, but honestly, it's so big that normally you never just whiff it anyway.
That's the y'all whip this move, y'all. Oh, but we're not whipping Flame Carpet in the corner, just standing on business, standing on the heated floors, and taking even more damage than the throw allows. 3 in a row here on Gamera's HP.
All that damage was just drain life and throw. There was one singular actual hit there.
All men do is Flame Carpet and lie, man.
Yeah,
Round on the board here for Totoro.
Flame Carpet and lie.
All right, is it another 5H? No, scared of the whip punish that we saw earlier, but even then, Gamera trying to send out the orb and getting caught up in the Lord Strike low.
Yeah, nothing to ponder except for this corner, though, with the orb being defeated by the 6XL.
Yep.
The jump out, though.
Yeah, still got a few stocks in tow. Could show a DP, but again, so content to down back on the 6XL pressure.
Ooh.
So many staggers, only to get caught by 2M.
Yeah, 2M directly into the Flame Carpet. It's going to allow for pushback fully into the mid-screen.
Yep. Walk it out, just a dash to try and find any of these preemptive buttons, but caught out here with the ultimate Flame Carpet. Saraisen puts you in throw range.
Yeah, Totoro Classic directly into Saraisen, and that's going to hit off the far medium right there. You know he was buffering that the entire time every far M stuck out.
Yep. Just waiting on the Flame. How do we hold on? Even with such a strong whiff punish to start off the round, Totoro runs away with the corner pressure every single time, and now with the patience, we get a single stock.
Yeah, I mean, now Gamera is also stuck with Versusia for the rest of this set.
Okay, fights back here with the close L.
Wall bounce? No, didn't need it. The far L. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Yeah, she got those long dances legs more than even Siegfried.
That's what I'm saying. Still able to reach, but still able to be a bar aid by Totoro. Back over to the mid screen here on this ultimate Flame Carpet.
Okay, yep, it's going to get the plus frames off that, but it's still sticking in that Flame Carpet, and then the counter hit on the crouch.
All right, pick up off of the EX Fireball. We got the stocks behind, 100 meter apiece. Spend it on the BC, it's fine. That one's free.
Man, you can even get that one back as well. Flame Carpet's going to come out. Was looking for that Totoro Classic with the counter hit. Not going to get it. +2 situation.
Yep. Just waiting it out. No DP to be seen on the run-up. Yeah, run up Flame Carpet! Far Saraisen Totoro on tournament point!
We used to call that the death sentence before this game came out because in beta it did way too much damage.
Yeah.
But now we are seeing it maybe win a tournament right here. Far Saraisen is doing it.
Let's see it. Gamera, how can we hold on? Not even around to your name just yet, but we send it with the orb. Straight into the 5U, finds the counter hit start.
Yes, that's real good for Gamera because that's going to stop Totoro in his tracks. It's going to allow you to walk to this corner right now with the Flame Carpet effervescent.
Ooh. Okay, 5H in the mid-screen just looking for the stocks.
Yeah, the Fireball's just going to keep Totoro away with the pillar and everything like that. Yeah, he knows that he does not want to sit in that Flame Carpet for very long. Immediately cashes out right there. But yes, right back at you, inspired by the opponent.
DP for DP, now we're sending it with the orbs. You already have the install, but no consumption. We don't need the plus frame just yet. We ran right into the 2L stagger. It's back throw incident. Once again, this corner situation has always been lethal for Gamera.
But just outside of the Flame Carpet, look, has lost no life until they finally ran into it.
Yeah.
So that was actually not the worst.
Exactly. Barely any damage taken. Run up Flame Carpet. Nothing baited out from Gamera just yet.
Yeah, and I'm unfortunately had to take it on that one. That's okay, though, because the Lariat is going to get them out of this situation. Was looking for that sweep into SSBA. You know how it is. No Saraisen, though, off the far edge.
Yeah, didn't believe in the hit just yet. A wrong commit could be your life. Standing on business with the ultimate carpet once again.
Yeah, definitely not trying to stand on that carpet. Nowhere was looking for the +2. Was wanting it. It's not going to have it. Has to push out. We are in chip territory almost right now. And this is real scary. The projectiles are coming out. Hurry up, 10 seconds. And there's the Lariat. Oh, my God.
Gamera staying alive. One touch apiece. Chip damage was a factor, and 10 seconds left on the clock, but your time is not up just yet. Still tournament point for Totoro.
Yeah, Commodore wanted to use that Brave counter on the actual +2, but didn't get it from the Lord Strike.
Yeah. All right. EX Pillar, you already had the 5U, but now we got the Fireball into stocks. Too far to confirm.
Yeah, and that's why that far L is going to be really good for Gamera throughout this matchup, is because, you know, there are extended hurt boxes from Percival. Staying out of Flame Carpet range again. Do not want to stand in that.
Looking for the Nimbus, but nothing to be found. Totoro, like you said, just staying at Flame Carpet range. Sniped out of the skies. The pickup with the Mach. This is going to do a ton of damage. The pickup of the close L isn't too much.
Yes, catching pretty much every jump out, forcing the throw tech, and now you are draining life if you're Gamera because Flame Carpets, you had to sit in at least 2 of them now. Got the hit and can spend the rest of it right now. And Totoro is finally gonna do it! Totoro is no longer the bridesmaid, as Totoro is going to win Arc World Tour Finals 2024!
From bridesmaid to belle of the ball, congratulations Totoro with a sweep in grand finals, not a single game drop. The joy on his face is palpable, sealing it out strong.
I can't believe it, it's finally happened. And with such a strong showing throughout the entirety of the top 8, throughout the group stages, it felt like nobody was on Totoro's level, and he proved it.
Unstoppable, defeating the final boss. But speaking of, everyone give it up one more time for Gamera.
Gamera fighting hard to get to that second place finish, just coming up short against one of the strongest players you ever saw. And now Totoro can say they are the strongest Grandblue Fantasyverse